I'm doing a quick update video on her, the 2009 Mac Pro NAS, but first I have something very important to show you. Him. Look at him. He's a good boy. I love him. But anyway, this is the focus of today's video. Her. This is my 2009 Mac Pro with dual quad-core Xeons at 2.93 GHz. They're X5570s. And he's been working as my NAS for a good while now, almost 2 years. But I think I'm going to retire her soon. No, I am retiring her soon. Because of a couple things. Where did I put my notes? My notes. There they are. I forgot my notes. Retiring her for a few reasons. First one is she's very hot. She runs very warm. She idles at 163 watts and boosts to like 400 something, which is a lot. And I've moved and my new room is very, very, very hot already. So she's not helping. And it's just that she's giving me some issues. You know, if you've seen part 2 of the Mac Pro NAS series, where I had to reseat the RAM a bunch of times in order to get to even boot at all, it keeps doing that every once in a while. I just have to like reboot the RAM and stop moving, redo the RAM and shit like that, and just it's a pain. I'm getting old. In 2009, it's a 15-year-old computer. And newer computers are significantly cheaper and more power efficient, and etc. So I think it's a good time to retire her. I'm not sure what I'll be doing with her after. I'll talk about that later. But what I am replacing her with, which is on the way already, is the Dell T5820. Put a picture on screen. The specific one I've got is a 6-core Xeon W2135, which is less cores than this, but it's also a 2017 Skylake W part, which uses the Skylake architecture from 2017, rather than the Nehalem architecture that this girlie uses from 2009. So it's a much newer CPU, and even though this is 8 cores and the Xeon W2135 has 6 cores, it's still almost twice as fast, just because it's so much newer, and it also boosts to higher. This thing runs at 2.93 GHz, and the Xeon W boosts up to 4.5 on a single core, which is quite a lot. I think it only goes to 4.0 on all cores. Don't quote me on that though. So I will probably show some numbers or something on here right now. The Dell has 4 front accessible drive bays, which will be helpful. And the Xeon W2135 is actually the same silicon as a Intel i7-7800X. It just uses a different chipset, like the Xeon chipset, instead of the high-end desktop chipset, which is good. So if you know how well that performs, that's about the same. Oh my god. Gotta show you him. Look at it. I could not show him to you. It's perfect. Focus. He's perfect. Look at him. Okay, back to here. Energy Star rates the Dell to idle at 77 watts with the higher end 2155 CPU that has 10 cores, which I couldn't get because money. 67 watts with 5 drives in it, so this should be around 35 watts, the Dell. Should be a lot less than what I'm getting out of this right now. The Dell also has plenty of PCIe expansion and such things like that, things that I use on this. And it should be about the same size, honestly, as what I have here. So that's the plan. I'm going to be retiring this little girlie. I may be getting rid of it. I'm not sure. I don't want to, but I might have to. But at the very least, if I have to do that, before I do that, I will be playing around with this, putting probably Snow Leopard on it, putting some period correct software on it, messing around, seeing what happens, you know, seeing how fast this thing can fly before I let it go. So I'm going to show you an example of this thing's power consumption here in a second. I have it hooked up to down here. It's kind of hard to see, but I have it hooked up to a battery backup here, which has a screen on it, so I can see the wattage. So I'll show you that in a minute during a couple tasks. So I'll do that in just a second. Alright, I have you pointed at the meter on my battery backup. Not the most fine resolution thing, but it definitely is able to show the difference. So it's idling right now. You can see at 162 watts. If I were to try and stream something from Jellyfin from my phone, if I were to just open something up, start streaming it. It doesn't jump up nearly as much as it did last night. That's weird. Alright, I think I had to transcode for the Xbox. Now that I've set it to transcode, you can see the power usage much higher. So this just happens. So that's part of the reason why I am replacing this, because of that extremely high power consumption for just streaming video. Alright, so yeah, that's the plan. I'm replacing her with something newer, and we're going to see what happens. I thought I should go over how much I paid for this. I paid $164 for the system with the CPU, but nothing else, and $31 for 32 gigabytes of RAM. So for $200, that's quite a lot of system. At least I think so. But it doesn't quite beat this in value because she costs $70 new. But then I also put more components into it, I put money into it, you know, but we'll see. As for this girlie, I want to put some interesting software on her, try out like Final Cut Studio 2 or 3 and mess with Logic Pro, and so just figure out, see what it's good at, 'cause, you know, it was a creative computer when it was new, so thought I'd try it out for creative, maybe edit a video on it, I don't know. But if I want to do that, I'm going to need to get a different GPU, because the original GPU is, well, not doing so hot, and both of them, the AMD 4770 and the GT 120 are both dead, so that's cool. But the RX 560 that obviously won't work on an older Mac OS, so I'll see. Things get expensive, but we'll see what I can do. So yeah, that's the plan. I'm replacing her. This should be just a short video, and see y'all later. Bye.